I'm here with an update that I have teased and promised for far too long, and so I've stopped progress on the build for just a little while so I can get it to you. First off, I received a call from Vans and an email and another call, all related to the delivery of my finishing kit. It's happening. In fact, final payment has been requested and submitted. That means I'm a few short weeks away from getting that finishing kit. This is huge. This is a day that, if you remember a few months ago, as short as that seems, I thought might not come. I think everybody thought there was some uncertainty on whether it would come or not when Vans released the news of a bankruptcy, and I unadvisedly sailed in an order for a finishing kit. Well, it's here, or it will be soon, and that means that I can keep trucking on this thing, aside from a few last minor details that I need to figure out. One of those I've already figured out, and I'm here to share, is related to avionics. I haven't known fully which avionics suite I've wanted to go with and how complete I wanted that avionics suite to be. I did some research. I flew out to Kansas City, Missouri, where the headquarters of Garmin is, for some assuredly unbiased information about avionics. A kid, but I went there actually to take a class on wiring avionics for experimental aircraft. It was put on by the Aircraft Electronics Association. This was a fantastic class. It was mainly about wiring and wiring techniques, but it was centered on the Garmin G3X system. Again, a company that we all know, and that does hail out of a neighboring town down there near Kansas City, Missouri. I had a great time with this class. I got some hands-on interaction with the G3X system, and it confirmed my suspicions that it's the system I want to go with for my plane. There are many reasons, and I'm more than happy to get into details with those who are making a similar decision on why I chose Garmin. But above all would be the uniformity of the system, the ability to go with Garmin and have a separate electronics that speak the same language over a CAN bus throughout the cockpit. The ability to have an IFR navigator and screens and a backup G5 and transponders all coming from the same suite of electronics, to me, was huge. This is a person who almost to a compulsion likes things that match, and I really like the fact that all these things will match. The ability to not only wire some of these electronics together, but then to mess around in the G3X system was such a pleasure, and it really confirmed my belief that that's going to be the right system for this plane. I want to pause here because I think I'm failing to impress upon y'all just how incredible of a value this was. Levi with Midwest Avionics, in collaboration with the Aircraft Electronics Association, have put together a comprehensive course that is just such an incredible value. If you are at this stage in your build, if you are contemplating wiring up your own electronics, you owe it to yourself to look out for this class, sign up, and evaluate whether this is something that you want to do, something that you can do for a relatively low cost. Again, the value here was incredible. And no, they're not paying me to say this. In fact, they don't even know that I am going to say this. But that's okay, because there's only like 14 of you still paying attention, so I don't really expect an overwhelming response from this video. I have, however, went ahead and put their information down in the description if you are interested. I will be going with an IFR package, a sort of medium, middle of the road, very common package as far as these planes are concerned. While I am not IFR rated at this time, I do have plans in the future to become IFR rated. I think it's one of the biggest limitations of my flying right now, that lack of a plane and the inability to file an IFR flight plan. The future of me flying this plane definitely includes that. I have not ordered the avionics yet. I will soon, but first I've got to create a home for those electronics, and that's what I've been working on in the back here, and then you will see that in an episode to come soon. With avionics sorted out, the next thing that people have been asking me are, how are you going to power this aircraft? I still don't know. From the onset, I've always wanted an IO 360 M1B. That was an engine I would order through Vans, likely with a prop. And that was the plan up until, well, probably about 6-ish months ago. I have a fairly high risk tolerance, but right now the level of uncertainty around turn times and probably pricing with that engine, the combination of Vans and Lycoming is far beyond what I can stomach. I have reached out to both organizations, hoping that they could provide me some information that might assuage my fears that I wouldn't wind up with a non-refundable deposit stuck with a company that can't deliver an engine as prices continue to escalate. I have not received a response. I have received a response from Vans. I have not received a response from Lycoming, Regardless, the responses that I have received have done nothing to alleviate my concerns. The turn times given, I don't find are based in any sort of fact and more or less just a guess. I don't see engines flowing off the line, nor do I hear about people receiving theirs that have had engines due, some for months, some for years, or perhaps a year. Plural there might be a bit hyperbolic. Regardless, that is not a situation I want to find myself in. There have been many people out there that have recommended engines, engine platforms, engine providers, engine builders, and I have looked into some of those with some great results. In fact, I have a couple quotes. I'm still doing some final research on that. There are directions I will not head for various reasons. An example of that might be UL power. I find that there's just too much modification required to try and cram a 6-cylinder engine in an airframe that was realistically meant for, geometrically at least, for a 4-cylinder Lycoming. I know there's going to be folks that say it's not that hard, unless you have it in your garage and you're working on it at the same level I am, and you can walk me through how easy it is, then I would be cautious to omit some of the details and oversimplify what appears to be a fairly difficult process. I am hoping at this point that I can get an IO360 of some sort built, hopefully for a reasonable price, and get that in the next 6 to 12 months. That I know is ambitious with the current climate, the market right now. These things are in huge demand. So I'm going to continue to track one down. As soon as I figure out where I'm getting that from, I'll update the group and I'll let you know what I have found, what I've decided on. Because I don't have an engine picked out yet, you may see some out of orderness to my build, a hesitancy to run fuel lines, the inability to complete the center forward cockpit section, because I simply don't know if there's going to be a boost pump there or not, things like that. However, I've got plenty to do. In fact, now that things are starting to move again, at least in my world, in my head, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but that's cool. I'm going to dig out, continue to bust on this thing. I hope that you choose to continue to follow with me as we switch back to more build videos. I'll do my best to get caught up on that footage, some of which, by the way, a little shaky as I've been battling some camera issues and quite frankly, forgetting to turn them on at times. So soon, hopefully less than a week, I will have a build video up and we'll keep cruising on this thing. In the meantime, I really want to thank everybody with your kind comments, your suggestions, your help, your subscribes, and your likes. It's all been fantastic to have an audience that follows me along with this, and a helpful one at that. Until next time, take care.